Good day, and greetings from the University of Massachusetts Medical School. I am Jim Healy, today's Master of Ceremonies, and on behalf of the University of Massachusetts Medical School, it is my great honor and high privilege to welcome you to a most special and timely commencement ceremony for graduates in the School of Medicine's class of 2020. Typically, our commencement exercises are held on the campus green on the Sunday following Memorial Day, and I have the wonderful opportunity to proclaim the School of Medicine. But as you know, these are not typical times, far from it. Like all of you, we are striving to adapt to this new remote existence. This includes convening for our first ever virtual commencement ceremony. It is a new experience for all of us, and we kindly ask for your understanding and consideration during the next hour. There are, of course, some limitations to this virtual platform, but we will attempt to provide our School of Medicine graduates with a ceremony worthy of their accomplishments and selfless service. To assure that all who have joined this ceremony can hear the speakers, we respectfully request that you mute your audio for the duration of the program, which will begin promptly at noon. Today's ceremony is also being live streamed on the University of Massachusetts Medical School's Facebook page. A recording will be made available to all this afternoon. To all of you who are watching and listening today, we invite you to follow UMass Medical School on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram, to see highlights and to keep up to date on all the advances and news from our faculty, staff, and students. Welcome again. We will begin shortly. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Michael F. Collins, Chancellor of the University of Massachusetts Medical School, who will formally open today's commencement ceremony. Chancellor Collins.
Greetings. I hereby declare the 47th Annual Commencement Exercises of the University of Massachusetts Medical School's School of Medicine officially open. I am pleased to be the first to officially salute the School of Medicine class of 2020. On behalf of all of us at the University of Massachusetts Medical School, let me welcome members of our graduates' families and their friends who join us from locations near and far for today's virtual ceremony. We know that you share in our pride as we celebrate the many accomplishments of our graduates. Our graduates have achieved success in large part thanks to the support of their family and friends. Today's celebration is for them as well. I ask all members of the class of 2020 to take a moment today to say thank you to those family and friends who supported you throughout this journey. Before we begin today's speaking program, we have a special singing of our national anthem by Cole Martins, a member of the ensemble group Da Cappella, and a student of our School of Medicine's class of 2021.
Oh, say, can you see, and by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars, and through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the brave?
The University of Massachusetts Medical School serves proudly as the Commonwealth's first and only public medical school. We are committed in spirit and in action to improving the health and well-being of the people of Massachusetts and the many governmental entities that support the healthcare delivery system and public health across the Commonwealth. We have a long-standing and special partnership with our state government, and as I speak, we have colleagues who are embedded with those state officials charged with organizing a multifaceted response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Together, we will work as best we can with our state leaders to mitigate the spread of the virus and to protect the citizens of Massachusetts. In a powerful demonstration of support for our medical school generally, and our graduates in particular, Governor Charles Baker requested an opportunity to convey his thanks and appreciation to the class of 2020. While he wanted to deliver his remarks in person, his incredibly demanding schedule precluded him from doing so. Instead, he has pre-recorded a video message, which we will play for you now. Governor Baker.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dr. Collins, distinguished faculty, administration, and especially graduates. You know, I spoke at the graduation from this medical school several years ago, and at that point in time, I talked about the opioid epidemic and the battle on the front lines that we were waging with our colleagues in the medical community and our folks in the addiction community, and so many parents and brothers and sisters and moms and dads of those who were dealing with addiction. And I said at that time to those graduates that it would be a very important and special time to be entering the field of medicine. As I sit here today and think back on that particular address, I can't help but think how much different and more significant in many ways today's graduation ceremony will be. For those of you who've agreed to step up and join the team that's working this issue every single day in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, all I can say on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth, indeed the people of this country, how much we appreciate your commitment to the cause, and especially the skills and capabilities and capacity to adapt and adjust and heal that you will bring to this task. There have been many folks in the medical community I've talked to about this issue over the course of the past several months. And the message that sticks with me over and over again is many of them say, hey, you know, I practice to be a cardiologist, I practice to be an anesthesiologist, I practice to go into primary care. But what I am right now is a COVID-19 doc. And that means a whole bunch of things that are a lot different than what I ever thought it would mean when I got into medicine in the first place. This is in many respects one of the great challenges of our time. And I just want to say to everyone there today, to the folks who teach, to the folks who learn, to the folks who administer programming, and to the graduates who are there, God bless you for your commitment to this task. God bless you for your commitment to the Commonwealth and to its citizens. And especially, I just want to say how much we appreciate here in Massachusetts your willingness to step up, and we will do all we can to support you in your tasks and in your activities as you venture out into this very different world than the one I anticipate you thought you were going to be entering into. And let's all do everything we can and bring that spirit of Massachusetts, that commitment, that resilience, that determination and perseverance that we have always brought to every task, every time, and every challenge to what faces us going forward. And if we stay in it and we commit to one another, I absolutely believe we can come out the other side stronger. Thank you and God bless.
I want to thank Governor Baker for his steadfast leadership during these challenging times. UMass Medical School is an integral component of the 5-campus UMass system, which is overseen by an all-volunteer Board of Trustees. I am pleased to invite Board Chair Robert J. Manning to bring greetings on behalf of the university's Board of Trustees. Chair Manning.
Thank you, Dr. Collins. I first want to congratulate you and your team for doing an outstanding job managing our medical school during this challenging period. And the doctor is someone who I very much admire because he's built your medical school into one of the best in the world. And we at the board are all very proud of the work that the medical school does every day. This is a very challenging time for all of us, but particularly for you as graduates. You know, I tend to be a very optimistic person and believe that even in a crisis, some good things can come out of that. And I believe that when we get through the end of this pandemic, people are going to treat each other, hopefully, with more dignity and respect, and they're going to help one another and be more generous in the way that they think about their relationships. And you all will be right at the front and center of that change in our society. You have the most altruistic profession that I know of, and each and every one of you will impact thousands of people's lives during your career. And we feel as a board that what you do for work is something that is very important in society. I do want to recognize two of your fellow graduates today, Peter Cruz Gordillo, who served on the Board of Trustees with me and did a great job representing the medical school and its interests and all of the students at the medical school. And also Patrick Lowe, who served years ago with me, who is someone I got to know very well during his time on the board. And we know he's going to be moving on to Mass General and working in the emergency department there. So congratulations to my fellow trustees. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to just commend, you know, this is an amazing accomplishment, earning a degree to become a medical doctor. It's one of the most difficult things there is to do in life. And we are all very, very proud of each and every one of you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Chair Manning, for your leadership, your kind words, and for your participation today. The University of Massachusetts and its 5 campuses benefit from the strong leadership of President Marty Meehan, who is an ardent advocate and compelling champion for our medical school. It gives me great pleasure to invite President Meehan to offer congratulatory remarks on behalf of the university. President Meehan?
Thank you very much, Chancellor Collins, and to Dean Flott, the outstanding faculty and staff of the medical school, to friends and supporters of the medical school, but most of all to the graduates of the class of 2020. First of all, congratulations, and I'm honored to be with you all today. And we're meeting virtually, but today is very real. And the achievement that you all have accomplished is very real. And the challenges that all of you face are very real. And it's hard to believe when this academic year started, who would have thought that it would end with a commencement that would be online, a virtual commencement? Who would have thought that you'd be graduating a month early? And who would have thought that the country and in fact the world would be facing the challenges that we are today? There aren't any medical school graduates more equipped, more talented, more ready to take on the challenges that we face today across this country and across the world. Just the fact that you got get into a UMass Medical School is an incredible accomplishment. But the fact of the matter is, you have achieved enormous success. I believe that the UMass Medical School is a platinum brand for UMass, and we're so proud of this medical school, so proud of the rankings, primary care physician rankings, #1 in New England. But at this time of crisis, we're even more proud of this class of 2020, because I don't think any class has ever faced the challenges that this class faces. It's interesting, after 9/11, there became a lot more respect for our first responders, our police and firefighters, our EMTs, and the country kind of had an education on just how challenging those jobs were and how important they were all across this country. Well, I believe that this crisis in the United States and around the world is going to change the way people view doctors and nurses and those who are on the front lines of protecting our communities in public health. I believe strongly that you're equipped and ready to go face this challenge, but I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you do and what you're about to do for this country and for this world. Thank you for the research of the medical school that is contributing so much to the public health in society today. So congratulations to the class of 2020, and we are proud of you, and go do great things, and let's get through this terrible crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, President Meehan, for your support, your leadership, and your encouragement. To our graduates, please allow me a few moments to share some thoughts with you. I remember your very first day of medical school. There was great enthusiasm, some nerves too. Each of you had worked so hard to realize a dream, and now it was playing out before you. That day, in your very first medical school lecture, I recalled a scene that all who join our profession experience countless times during their career. The moment when a physician enters a patient's room. I emphasized that it is not a privilege for a patient to be cared for by a physician, but a privilege for a physician to care for their patients. And yes, I encouraged you then, as I do now, and will always, to hold the hand of your patients with esteem. Later that day, while sharing the same story with many of your parents, some wiped away tears of joy, others tears of parental pride. As gently, I let them know that their relationship with you would forever be changed now that you were to become a physician. On your first day of medical school, none of us could have imagined how unusual this graduation day would become. Unless one had just finished Albert Camus' The Plague or Bill Gates' 2015 Shattuck lecture, thoughts of a pandemic were the furthest thing from your minds that day. Most of you envisioned the white coats that you would soon wear, lectures, late nights, clinical rotations, and in not so long a time that you would march onto the campus green and into the commencement tent, basking in the cheers of family and friends. How we wish it could be that way. At this moment, the cheers of your dreams, now fulfilled, are deafened by the solitude and seriousness that surround this moment. You are gathered, if such a word could be used, in ones and twos, some with families near, others watching from afar, as the festivity of the moment is silenced into solemnity by a virus uncontained. This was not how it was meant to be. In 1943, college graduates never saw their commencement stage, as they were hurried off to serve their nation in a conflict that would test the mettle of individuals, nations, and the world. Never did we think this could happen again. The ruffles and flourishes of commencement dreams are absent. The green is empty and still. We are separated from those we love, but our spirit must not be dashed. As individuals and as citizens of this nation and the world, this moment implores us to focus on what is most important. We have isolated ourselves to combat a virus whose vaccine has yet to be created. We have moved to virtual relationships to deter a disease for which therapeutics have yet to be discovered. We have made sacrifices to help those who might not be able to help themselves, while preparing to care for those who are ill. As Camus sets the scene in The Plague, Dr. Rieux, Oren's young physician, recognizes disease could overwhelm his village. Camus writes, "I have no idea what's awaiting me or what will happen when all this ends. For the moment, I know this: there are sick people and they need curing." How poignant that a philosophical tale that recounts a plague of the mid-1800s could presage today's pandemic. Know how proud we are that you are the young physicians of this moment. Soon you will raise your hands and take the oath that your class has written. You will pledge to put others above yourselves. You will commit to those most in need at a time when they need you most. You will vow to step forward when stepping aside is not an option. Please remember that in the days ahead, you will draw upon all you have learned. Never waver from a commitment to lifelong learning, as there will be much to master in the days and years ahead. With time, you will tell your children and grandchildren that on the day you graduated from medical school, you were called into service to care for patients with a contagious disease for which there was no cure. You will go on to regale them with the discoveries that were made and how they are now safe because a vaccine and therapeutics were discovered. Tell those tales with equal parts of pride and humility, for our noble profession benefits most when we are humble in our achievements and modest with our accomplishments. Throughout your career, never let the mask, gown, or gloves come between you and those for whom it will be your privilege to care. There will be moments when all therapeutic options for your patients have been exhausted. Please remember that the greatest privilege of your career may be the time you will spend holding the hand of your patient. These will be moments that comfort those for whom you care and sustain you in our profession. Please know of the care and concern that we took when making the decision to move forward the date of your commencement. It weighs on me that you shall now step forward to care for those with a most contagious disease during a time of great uncertainty. But my confidence in you, in your compassion, and in your abilities both reflects and confirms my confidence in our faculty, the stewards of your education. The experiences you will encounter and the decisions you will make in the days ahead shall be with you for a lifetime. During the trying and triumphant moments of your career, please know of the enduring pride the University of Massachusetts Medical School shall have in calling you one of our own. Congratulations and Godspeed along your professional journey.
Chancellor Collins, thank you for those wonderful remarks and for your outstanding leadership during this time of crisis. For the first time in the history of UMass Medical School, you, the MD class of 2020, are receiving your degrees 2 months earlier than previously planned, enabling you to join the ranks of those who are dedicated to the service of their fellow men and women. Never before have we needed you more to join our ranks as healers and leaders of healthcare teams. Yours is a vocation, a calling to serve your fellow human beings in their moments of greatest need, to be for your patients and families what they need you to be, not what you want to be, but what they need you to be. That is our commitment, and that is the core element of the oath that you will soon take. In this way, even in ordinary times, the role of the physician in society is special. But these are not ordinary times. In fact, they are the most extraordinary of times. As all of you know, our nation and our world are faced with a global pandemic of historic proportions. The acute outbreak of COVID-19 threatens to overwhelm the capacity of our health systems. And so, the Chancellor has taken the unprecedented step of conferring your degrees 2 months early. And the Board of Registration of Medicine has streamlined their process to grant limited medical licenses, freeing you up for service if you choose to render that service to the Commonwealth or elsewhere in our nation. As you also know, you have already matched to your internships and residencies, indicating that both we and the programs to which you are going as interns in July recognize that you have completed this phase of your learning and are ready to move to the next level as resident physicians. It is with 100% confidence that I say to all of you that you are, in fact, ready. The hospital teams that you will join include many of the same physician educators that have taught you so far. They know you. They know your skills and your limitations. They know how much you can help. This moment is rightly called a crisis. But as President John F. Kennedy pointed out, in every crisis there is an opportunity. And as this is a great crisis, it comes with great opportunity. An opportunity to draw on strengths and talents you may not have realized that you had. Part of that opportunity is the opportunity to serve now, in these coming weeks, as the surge of the new COVID-19 cases move through our communities here in Massachusetts. This is a historic opportunity to serve and to learn, one that you did not ask for, but one which has been thrust upon you. The broader opportunity, we hope, is to take that learning and strength that will emerge as our community emerges from this pandemic, to create a health system that is more nimble, more flexible, more able to anticipate and to react to the possibilities of other pandemics in the future. But in this moment, today, we celebrate your successes over the past 4 years. We are inspired by your incredible intelligence, diligence, and your idealism. You are our hope. You are our future. We do not expect you to be perfect, but we know that you will put forth the full efforts of your minds and your hearts. As Winston Churchill said in another moment of global crisis, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. We know that you will find that courage within yourselves. We are so incredibly proud of you. Congratulations, and with all our best wishes and prayers. It's now my privilege to introduce the class speaker. Each year, the graduating class selects one classmate to serve as class speaker. The School of Medicine's class of 2020 voted to have, as this year's class speaker, Andrew L. Hayek, who just matched in internal medicine at the BI Deaconess. It is a distinct pleasure to invite Andrew to address his fellow classmates wherever they may be joining us from today.
Well, thank you, Dean Flott. Well, these are certainly not the circumstances I think any of us expected for this ceremony. I am still quite honored and grateful to have been chosen as the class speaker for a class that's really chock full of incredible people. I was preparing to deliver a speech at the end of May, the bulk of which I planned on writing in the month of April. So when we learned that the graduation was moved up to March 31st, being today, I said to somebody close to me, they aren't expecting me to have a speech ready for this virtual ceremony, are they? To which she replied, no, that'd be crazy. So you can imagine my surprise when 2 days ago, I got an email asking if I could put together a few words for today's ceremony, which in fairness, they said would be about 2 minutes long. So I said, yes, of course, but at the same time, I think I wondered to myself what I could possibly offer in terms of words of comfort or support or encouragement at a time like this. So what some of you might know about me is that I love stories about heroes. And another thing that's kind of painfully obvious about me is that I'm pretty unoriginal. And at times like this, I like to draw inspiration from these stories. So recently I was watching The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, for those of you who are familiar with the trilogy. And midway through the film, Frodo, who's one of the protagonists, who is also a hobbit, is speaking to a wizard, Gandalf. And he says, I wish the ring had never come to me. I wish none of this had happened. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the story, just know that the ring is very bad. And Gandalf, being very wise, replies, so do all who live to see such times, but that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. So with that said, I want to take this opportunity to thank truly everyone in the UMass community, first of all, for deciding to do good with the time that's been given to them. That starts with our administration, Dr. Kimienti, Dr. Larkin, Dean Flott, Chancellor Collins, many, many others who I'm sorry I'm failing to mention in this list of people. But I want to thank you all for your tireless efforts to make the best out of really an incredibly difficult situation that is changing day by day and honestly hour by hour. I also especially want to thank my fellow students from all 4 years of the medical school and from the other graduate schools at UMass as well, who have sacrificed time, energy, and tremendous effort to contribute where they can to support the healthcare system at a time where it is much needed. This really does prove that UMass is not just a place, it's a people. It's very possible that many of us who are graduating today will also be called upon to work as interns, as we've heard, months before we were actually scheduled to begin our residency. And a lot of us will do so simply because we were asked for help. And that's the kind of doctors you're getting today. I admire all of you so much, and I'm so proud to call you my classmates and my friends. At this time, we are living through a particularly difficult time in healthcare and in the world. Each of us has been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic in a number of ways. Through all of this, I also think it's important to remember that sadness and disappointment is not necessarily a zero-sum game. So what I mean to say is we can still acknowledge the gravity and true tragedy that this pandemic represents with respect to human lives, while also taking the time to acknowledge and mourn the losses that we've endured as fourth-year medical students and as medical students in this community. So just speaking for us fourth years, we've lost a lot of the things we've really looked forward to over the last 4 years. That includes a celebratory match day surrounded by friends and family, the ceremonial cap and gown commencement ceremony that we've seen year after year, and we're excited to offer our opportunity to walk across that stage. Even just the vacations we've all planned spanning across the globe. And just, the last time for a really, really long time where we're going to have a month or two of just free time and time off. But through all of it, what I think I regret the most to have lost is we collectively have been unable to celebrate each other together. Our class is a group of people who are really exceptional at loving each other. And after all we've worked for, after everything we've given for our classes, for our patients on the wards, and for each other, we all deserve the chance to embrace one another and genuinely say to each other, congratulations, I'm so happy for you. This day was also meant for our support networks, who also deserve to hear us say thank you to them. The people who sacrificed everything and would have given more if there was any more to give. They deserve to have today to hear how much we appreciate them and how we couldn't have done this without them. So, despite the fact that we all deserve this, we're not getting that today. And we deserved it not just because of how hard we worked, but also of how fully we loved each other. But while it's not quite the same, I do want to express that appreciation as sincerely as I can to each of you. It's been such a whirlwind over the last few weeks. I think many of us haven't had the chance necessarily to reflect on this moment and appreciate it for the achievement that it is. So I invite all of you either now or later today just to take a few moments to reflect back on your journey through medical school. Think back on the successes you had, the failures that came up that tried to convince you that those successes weren't real, the late nights in the library, the early mornings at waking up at 4 to get to the hospital on time for surgery rounds. And who could forget all the stress associated with being a medical student? But also, it's very important, please never forget the joys. And the joy that I'm talking about is the joy you feel when you're in the presence of the people you care about so deeply. And you want to thank the universe for putting you in this exact location at this exact point in time, because there's nowhere you'd rather be. I have personally had an abundance of these moments over the last 4 years. So I thank you all, class of 2020, for giving that to me. So in closing, class of 2020, some say the greatest class of all time, allow me to say to you now, congratulations, you deserve this. I'm so happy for you. Thank you.
We have now come to a most important part of today's ceremony, the conferral of the degree of Doctor of Medicine. Chancellor Collins, as designated and delegated by President Meehan and the UMass Board of Trustees, will confer the degrees.
Chancellor Collins, I have the honor to present to you the 135 candidates who have satisfied the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. The names will now be read by Vice Provost Sonia Chiamenti.
Blackstone House, Dr. Nima Azimi, Dr. Fatumata Ngoy Ba, Dr. Regina E. Brown, Dr. Timothy Han Chang, Dr. Coleman G. Clifford, Dr. Jonathan G. Frishon, Dr. Patrick Timothy Jaguar, Dr. Thomas Gomes, Dr. Eden Hen, Dr. Alexis Tova Jacobson, Dr. Richard David Jones, Dr. Jesse William Laughlin, Dr. Alexander Paul Lucas, Dr. Ashley Nicole Matthew, Dr. Grace Brown McKay Corkum, Dr. Hillary Elise Milan, Dr. Timothy James Oliver, Dr. Sharav Kumar Potter, Dr. Isabella Elizabeth Kendro, Dr. Heather Thompson Riley, Dr. Paul Anthony Rizzo III, Dr. Cesar Rodriguez, Dr. Catherine Ann Stefos, Dr. Ariel Stopa, Dr. Ellen Elizabeth Wallace, Dr. Shyla Elizabeth Wanty, Dr. Kevin Yiming Yan, Dr. Marguerite Nicola Youngren, Burncoat House, Dr. Brittany Lee Atwater, Dr. Cassandra Chen, Dr. Jacqueline Tanya Chipkin, Dr. George Robert Chachalo Jr., Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Korneuer, Dr. Jacqueline Frances Dagnalt, Dr. Ryan Edward Dean, Dr. Andrew Philip L. Hayek, Dr. Colleen P. Flanagan, Dr. Alana J. Hickey, Dr. Ato Agyenkwa Howard, Dr. Johnny Jarnigan, Jr., Dr. Kelly King, Dr. Anna Nicole Clauda, Dr. Allison B. Lieberman, Dr. Maxwell Roger Lloyd, Dr. Patrick Paul Lowe, Dr. Vinay George Maliekal, Dr. Ashley Marie Millette Cody, Dr. Janina Miracia Monestim, Dr. Lauren Elizabeth O'Laughlin, Dr. Janki Patel, Dr. Connor Piercy, Dr. Victoria J. Podsiadlo, Dr. Lily Amanda Rabineau, Dr. William James Selkirk, Dr. Joseph Taylor Shortsleeve, Dr. Young Ju Su, Dr. Rebecca Uguru Ukaibu, Dr. Zoya Volkova, Dr. Claire Edwards Wynn, Dr. Margaret Maying Shu, Dr. Jason D. Yang, Dr. Evan Zhang, Kelly House, Dr. Syed Ali, Dr. Sarah Miriam Amari, Dr. Sneha Bagchi, Dr. Umaru Bari, Dr. Thomas John Carroll, Dr. Allison Patrice Casserly, Dr. Katarina Elizabeth Cheng, Dr. Sayeda Nasim Cheragi, Dr. August Martin Felix, Dr. Jessica Feng, Dr. Megan Foster, Dr. Alicia Rose Fraser, Dr. Akshay Kapoor, Dr. Grant Kent Lewandowski, Dr. Saharsh Mehta, Dr. Angeline Baulin No, Dr. Brian Mao Win, Dr. Huang Yen Win, Dr. Miriam P. O'Neill, Dr. Simon Ostrowski, Dr. Michelle Catherine Willett, Dr. Nathan Petru, Dr. Philip Picard Fraser, Dr. Edgar Joseph Ramadi, Dr. Shruti Srinivas, Dr. Ganapathiram Nambi, Quinsigamond House, Dr. Emma Gwendolyn Albert Stone, Dr. David Applebaum, Dr. Mary Elizabeth Awad, Dr. Emily Grace Berner, Dr. Ro Chen, Dr. Lauren Eleanor Caldwell, Dr. Rocky Desai, Dr. Grace Ann Hewitt, Dr. Estelle Hirsch, Dr. Danielle Marie Iskandar, Dr. Danielle Marie Kerrigan, Dr. Kendra Lestoka, Dr. Peter Lynn Lee, Dr. Tyler Joseph Luck, Dr. Nicholas Robert Martin, Dr. Elias Antoine Namour, Dr. Ciara Louise Nickerson, Dr. Marek Daniel Nitzpon, Dr. Lindia Dorothy Persona, Dr. David C. Peters, Dr. Catherine Hendren Rose, Dr. Anupama Singh, Dr. Brian Christopher Barasa Tashjian, Tatnuk House, Dr. Gianfranco Barreto, Dr. Jeanette Idaline Beauty, Dr. Alexandria Capoza, Dr. Nicholas Richard Cormier, Dr. Hannah Murphy Duran, Dr. Nicholas John Hathaway, Dr. Amanda Lynn Karampatzos, Dr. Suman Kim, Dr. Hannah Leah Lederhausen, Dr. Victor Wantat Liu, Dr. Alice Yushi Liu, Dr. Samantha Doris Martin, Dr. Emma Caroline Matern, Dr. Pavan Matthew, Dr. Melissa Jean McCarthy, Dr. Pietro Miozzo, Dr. Jessica Pierre-Francois, Dr. Rebecca Earl Scher, Dr. Tarakaswari Selvakumar, Dr. William Seidlinger, Dr. Rachel Jane Silverman, Dr. Chris Tace, Dr. Elizabeth Tachenko, Dr. Jacqueline Tran.
Will the candidates please rise?
Blackstone House, Dr. Nima Azimi, Dr. Fatuma.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Massachusetts, I confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine as recommended by the faculty of the School of Medicine. In accordance with usual custom, you as individuals are entitled to all the rights and privileges which pertain to this degree here and elsewhere. Congratulations to all of you in the class of 2020 on this outstanding achievement. To all of you observing this ceremony today, please join Dean Flott and me in a virtual applause for the graduates of the School of Medicine.
This year, we are beginning a new commencement tradition. The class of 2020 is the first class to write its own oath for our commencement ceremony. This oath will replace the traditional oath of Maimonides. The writing of the oath was led by a committee of students who will now lead the recitation on behalf of their fellow classmates. I want to take this opportunity to recognize the following students who served on the oath writing committee: Lauren Colwell, Philip Picard Frazier, Samantha Martin, Joseph Shortsleeve, Patrick Lowe, Simon Ostrowski, and Jacqueline Chipkin.
All right, I think we're going to start reading the oath, if everyone has it in front of them. We, the class of 2020, take this oath as a promise to each other, our patients, and communities. I will be curious, endeavoring not only to maintain knowledge, but to expand it. I will always wonder and inquire.
I will be resilient, taking care of myself so I may care for others. I will learn from and adapt to new situations. I will be open, understanding that I may not live my patients' experiences. I will strive to listen first, always working to confront my biases.
I will collaborate, accomplishing more together than I could alone. I will heal alongside patients, families, and colleagues.
I will advocate, fighting tirelessly to eliminate disparities in health and well-being. I will fulfill my duty to demand equity for all people.
I will mentor, remembering the shoulders on which I stand and the importance of diverse role models. I will invest in the growth of my colleagues and communities. We aspire to be compassionate, building relationships grounded in safety and trust, offering kindness even when we cannot cure.
We aspire to be humble, mindful of our limitations in admitting our mistakes, drawing upon the expertise of those around us. We aspire to be brave, triumphing over fear in the face of uncertainty and vulnerability, confident in our knowledge, abilities, and in each other.
As we venture into a world filled with the unknown, honoring evidence while respecting the art of medicine, navigating transitions between health and illness, life and death, cherishing the privilege of service, we promise to embody this oath, which we swear this day and all the days to come. Now we turn unto our calling.
Congratulations. Go out and make a difference. Go out and be the difference. We are proud to welcome you to our profession. We are proud to have you as our colleague. We are proud to refer to you as one of our own. Now, I hereby declare the 47th Annual Commencement Exercises of the University of Massachusetts Medical School's School of Medicine closed.
As the Chancellor just stated, our 2020 School of Medicine virtual commencement ceremony has officially concluded. This brings an end to our ceremony. Momentarily, we will deactivate the Zoom session. Thank you all for joining us for this special and historic occasion, marking a momentous milestone in the lives of our graduates. We hope and pray that you stay well and be healthy. Good day, and God bless.